Yes, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Street Pundits. Back with your host, Ben Griffiths, Stu Wise. Follow me on the IG. But anyway, let's get back to the football, what we're really here for. Let's reintroduce the random. First and always, yes, Joe, how you doing, my bro? How you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to another episode of Street Pundits. Talk about the games at the weekend, so I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely. Yes, Nosa, arrogance. How you doing, my bro? Talk to me.
Good, I'm good. Like Joe said, just want to talk about the games, the winners, the losers, the people who drew. Smooth, innit?
Yeah.
Yes, and last but not least, the guy who wants to let me be host. But Peter, how you doing, man?
Do you know what? I don't know like the way you send shots at me, You come to me and say, "Oh, let me be host. I let you be host." You send shots at me. This is how you treat me, man. I'm not too happy this week, but I mean, there's people that know that are happy with their draws. Fair enough. Anyway.
Yeah, what do you call it? What does Ben say? He sees through the fake, I see through the fake. Ben's a fake one.
Look how happy he is with his draws. Look at him, he's smiling. He's beaming.
Let's talk about the biggest game that was going to be in this weekend. Tottenham versus Chelsea ended in 0-0. Got a Chelsea fan right here. Nosa, tell us, how do you think the whole game went altogether?
Overall, the game, it was very boring, innit? So boring. Like, I mean, the first half had a couple moments, couple highlight reels from Tottenham more so. Like, Ndombele was just balling out in midfield. I mean, Bergwijn had a couple sprints that was exciting. Other than that, it wasn't anything too exciting.
Sprints, did you say?
Yeah, he got past the players, innit? Got past the players. Past a couple players. That wasn't a correct terminology to use, but you get the gist, innit? Overall, it was from a neutral perspective. It wasn't fun. It wasn't exciting. What's like this? It keeps on going. These big teams playing against each other, and they're calling it a tactical, whatever they want to call it. Like, it's getting boring now. Like, just play football. 5 years ago, it wasn't like this. 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. When top teams play, they express themselves. You see Nani doing rainbow flick over Gail Clichy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want to see. You don't see. Like, I want to see that. Man don't want to see five-man defense, and then when they're on the ball, 6 man sit deep, and then Ndombele drops as a DM, and then Harry Kane comes in, sits back, 10 men behind the ball. Man's not trying to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting a bit frustrating. Like, but anyway, let me move back to the topic. Like, we just. Chelsea as a whole, we didn't really pressure Tottenham defence, and I feel like because it was Rodon's first game, we didn't really exploit him. We didn't exploit him. Like, I mean, he made a couple of mistakes, and we didn't exploit that. I think Giroud, that was a perfect game for Giroud, in all honesty. If Giroud started from the balls that Reece James and Ziyech put in, we could have caused a bit more damage. Obviously, you can't do much about it. You just move on and collect the 1 point.
You're telling me right now Tammy's not good enough. That's what he just said right now. That's what I'm getting from that.
I mean, we could say Aubameyang's not good enough because he hasn't scored in the past 8 games.
Why do you always deflect? Answer the question, bro.
Wait. Because you don't score in 1 game, does that mean you're not good enough as a striker? I'm asking you.
One question. You said, this is what you said. That game was for Giroud altogether, yes or no? That's what you said, yeah?
And there's some games that are tailor-made for different strikers. For example, I'll give you one game. The Champions League final, Spurs versus Liverpool. Lucas should have started instead of Kane, but because of the magnitude of the game, they're starting Kane. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's games tailor-made for some players. That's the type of game that was tailor-made for Giroud because he's good at them one-touch finishes. He's good at holding up the play, and he's much more experienced against a young centre-back. Joe Rodon's 23, first game in the Prem. So, you know what I'm saying? I see for the fake, man, but I don't know about you.
Oh, this guy, why are you about... I'm guessing we all watched the game. Let's be real. That game was shocking. Let's be real. That was
horrible.
So boring.
I don't know what to say. I don't know where to go from this. Like,
Move on from that game, man.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what? Yeah, I think that game was just like a game of two managers who just didn't want to be the ones to make the mistake. of like costing the game or losing the game, and players as well. So you can tell like with every player, they weren't like it's like they were scared to be the one to make the mistakes, so they'll go sideways or they'll make the 5-yard pass or the 6-yard pass. But like sometimes you just got to throw more at it and like just try and win it. Like especially with Chelsea, I think Chelsea probably the more onus is on them. So you can see in the second half when Reece James started putting more balls in the box, Chilwell started putting more balls in the box, Ziyech started doing more balls. Like there was chances there to be had, but they were just going sideways. They weren't really like attacking. Like obviously both teams were just sort of happy with the draw, so it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, it's not great watching neutral. But what can you do?
Listen. I thought Lampard would have clocked on in the first half what the game was going to be like, and I don't know why no managers do this no more. But I've only seen Southampton do it. But put two strikers up front, like let's see what actually happens with two strikers up front. But
yeah,
I'm just gonna.
I get that because obviously they want to. You said like they want to occupy the two defenders, innit? But obviously you lose your body in midfield, so you probably become less stable, and you obviously think that these men might hit you in the counter attack.
I don't think he even needed the midfield too tough in that game, to be fair, because it was just them lot just putting 6 at the back. They were just holding off the 2 wingers. If you put it out wide, it will help you more. But yeah, let's just move on with the most exciting game in my eyes this weekend. Southampton versus United. Southampton go 2-0 up. Edison Cavani comes on half time and just does a mad thing. So Joe, talk to us. How did the whole game go for you?
Edison Cavani, what a player. What a player, man. He is a player, man. That's what a proper forward does. Put your head where it hurts. That first goal, yeah, that's a forward's goal. That's where, I don't think any other forward in the Premier League does that. I'll be honest. Right now, I can't see any other forward.
Easy, all right, easy. It's good goal, easy, though.
That type of goal. That goal.
I've seen Harry Kane do it.
No.
Burnley are crying right now. Burnley are crying as well.
I've seen Harry Kane do it. I've seen easy. But yeah, it was good. Carry on, so it was good.
Anyway, no. And what can I say? I said Bruno Fernandes is one of the players of the season so far, and he comes and delivers again from open play as well. So, I know all you rival fans don't like him and call him a pen merchant, but he scored from open play. So yeah. And he's got the same amount of goals and assists, goal involvements as in many games. So, yeah. So, back out with stats as well, just on the performance. But Cavani, even the second goal was good. But Southampton are a good side, I'll be honest. They are a good side as well. Ward-Prowse on free kicks is actually like a penalty, so there's no point getting free kicks away.
You see the first corner, is that whose fault was that? Because some people say, is it De Gea's fault or whose fault would you say that is?
I'd say it's Rashford's because Benrick, isn't it? Benrick or whatever his name is, right in front of Rashford, and that's his job. Because I think Telles was on the near post space and it's obviously gone over his head, but Rashford should have been tighter to Benrick. But saying that, it is a brilliant delivery by James Ward-Prowse, and we all know he's a free kick specialist, dead ball specialist. Like even around the box, there's no point giving free kicks away. Like it was actually a joke. Like he's free kicks, he's the best in the league at free kicks. I'd say personally, I think he scored the most free kicks like the last 2 years or whatever. Like I saw some stat, but yeah, no, it was a good win. Obviously Cavani popped up last minute with a goal, good header, good ball in by Rashford as well. So yeah. We move on to PSG tomorrow, and hopefully we put them in Europa League with Arsenal. So, Cavani to send PSG into Europa League. We'd love to see it.
What's that?
I'm just thinking like Southampton altogether, like they've actually turned around that. Remember at the start of the season against Tottenham when they lost 6-0? They've turned it around very, very good to be fair. I think they're doing actually a good job. So shout out to them.
When you say, that game when what's it called when Harry Kane and Son done that. But yeah, I won't touch on that Bruno point though before moving on quite quickly. Yeah, that Bruno, like you can't beat the guy. Like he's just so inevitable. Like And it comes to a point where it's just like, even if he's having a terrible game, you just know he's gonna pop with something. Like, and it can't actually be by mistake. Like, I can't lie. Like, when I was first watching him, I was thinking, nah, this guy's just getting lucky. Like, surely, like, it's got to stop. Like, this run's got to stop. But I think maybe he's just like, he's positional. He just got a sense of danger, so he knows where the danger is. So he's always in the positions for them, like, tap-ins, them goals. Like, his sense of danger is just so high. So, like, he's just always in the danger areas, and he's going to get goals like that, man. And everything he does is, like, he wants to force something with everything he does. And, yeah, like, a lot of it looks terrible. It doesn't come off, but it will come off eventually. Like, high volume means high amount of, like, goal assist or goals or assist, you know what I'm saying? So it happens. It doesn't look pretty because, like, I think we get the same sort of criticism as Salah as well, because people say, oh, Salah's not a good player because he takes a lot of shots and that. Well, it doesn't matter, because if he takes a lot of shots, it means goals are going to come eventually. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you should be worried when he's not taking the shots, he's not getting positions. That's when you should be worried. If he's taking a lot of shots, like, what's your problem? What's the issue? You know what I'm saying? He's going to score, like, eventually, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just piggyback on that, because I feel like Salah and Trent as well, and people like that get the same sort of criticism where they do like a high volume of something, and people don't really like it. Like, say, like, sorry, go on.
We're putting Bruno and Salah in the same bracket right now.
No, when you do something as a high volume, when you do something to a high volume. So Bruno does like how can I say it, like through balls and them type of passes a lot. He loses, so that means he loses the ball a lot as well. And in the same way that Salah, he takes shots a lot. So when you do something that's high volume, it doesn't always look the best, but it gets results. At the end of the day, it gets stats. And the same way people say, oh, Trent spams crosses. Trent does spam crosses, but how many assists does he get at the end of the season? You know what I'm saying? Same way with De Bruyne, he spams. So, yeah. It's only a special amount of players that can be like, oh, I took one shot and took one goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, no, I feel you. Moving on to the next game, Liverpool-Brighton, the early kickoff of the weekend, ended 1-1. I'm just gonna go and say that I think that's a penalty, to be honest. I think that's a red card as well, because that is shocking from Andy Robertson. It's actually ridiculous from him. What? Does anyone else disagree with me? What's going on here?
Bro, I feel like Ben just skipped through all of these matches so quickly just to get this point up.
There was a lot of highlights in the game, don't you think? I think it was quite a highlighted game.
Is it? No, not really.
There was offsides, there was cancelled goals.
VAR decisions, everything. Man, just skip past everything just to put his agenda through.
Yeah, but I think all them decisions were correct.
There was a missed penalty as well. Like, come on, we skipped. The game wasn't the most exciting game, but there was a lot of things to talk about.
Dismiss that. Let's talk about the main point now. Liverpool fans are actually angry. Peter, this is why you're angry, because you thought that was a penalty at the end. Yes or no? Do you think that was a penalty? Yes or no?
Well, the reason why I would say no is because of his reaction. Welbeck's reaction is way too late. So he falls in stages. Like, I don't know what that is. Like, you can't be falling in stages. Like, and then no one. And then obviously, to be honest, I didn't actually watch the game because I was playing football at the time, so I didn't watch the game. But so when I looked at it back, and what I look at, because I didn't watch it at the time, I look at, all right, what's everyone's reactions? Is everyone else complaining? No one complains. Literally, no one. None of his team members complain. The ref doesn't even acknowledge it, sort of thing. And then Welbeck that falls in stages because he thinks, we've lost the ball here. If they didn't lose the ball, he still would have stayed up. But yeah, it is what it is, man. You can't complain forever. Like, you just gotta go with the flows, man. Like, VAR, like, I feel like it's a thing where it's in every single game now. You can't avoid it. Like, even like the Arsenal Villa game on Monday, that ends up being a highlight of it. Ended up being a highlight of our game. Like, it's in every single, like, this is the main event in every game. Like, so it is what it is.
Do you think it's more down to the actual referee and like the people that are actually making decisions, or the referees on the pitch that are not staying like strong to the actual what they're actually seeing? What do you actually think? Because when VAR was introduced, it was to actually help them miss the little bits that they couldn't see. But now it's like just doing everything, to be honest.
It's gone way past that.
What do you actually think altogether?
I mean, with the offsides, me personally, offsides is to stop a person goal handling. That was what the rule was made for. Like, and obviously when someone's half centimetre shoulders offside, I think that's, for me personally, that's a bit of a big reach in it, because you're not at an advantage if your shoulder is 5 centimetres ahead or behind or whatever you call it. I just think like they should assess it properly and really think about how they're going to utilize it in the coming years, because you know, big games. So like, for example, the Liverpool Spurs game, that was when VAR was mainly introduced, and I think decision like that, obviously, it touched his hand. That was effective, but like Everton versus Liverpool, that was shocking. Like, you guys can agree with that. The offside, I forgot who was offside, but it was absolutely shocking. He was like literally
Mane.
half a centimetre off. Yeah, Mane was offside. Like, come on, that it shouldn't be like that. That's it, breaking the game. Like, he's not offside. He's not offside. You gotta know that he's not offside.
Nah,
So
man, offside, bro.
No, it's not. I don't think it is. I don't think that. If you're what? So is your shoulder at an advantage? I'm asking you that.
You could score with your shoulder, bro.
So you're no. Let's say if like a third of your face is offside.
Wait, I want to say something as well. Ben, how do you know it's offside? Because in the Stockley Park here, they have 24 frames of the images they use to sort of see like when it stopped. And the thing is, 24 frames, and they choose to use like 2 or 3 of them. How do you know which one they're using? And like, is it when the ball leaves the foot, or is it when, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be at any point. And the lines as well, the line's not even straight. Like, it's all over the place. No one knows what's going on in Stockley Park at all. So you saying it's offside, you don't even know it's offside.
I still think it's a work in progress.
There's 24 frames so from one angle on a weekend, it looked like Salah's onside. Another angle looks like Salah's offside. So like, you're basically picking and choosing. Like, so it's mental. Like, yeah, it's just mental.
I think, yeah. First of all, yeah, obviously the line thing, it's obviously a work in progress. This is the first full season it's going in today, I swear. Or is it the second? I think it's the second. Well, it's still new, if you get me. So they're still getting used to it. But I think it's slightly working, to be fair. Obviously, there's some little things that need to be touched, but with the offside and that, I can't complain with that.
So basically, when they're level, they're offside, Ben. That's what you're basically saying. When they're sort of level, they're offside, and then when because the attacker doesn't get the advantage anymore.
Of course not. It's not about anyone getting the advantage. It's about being fair, if you get me.
No, but you also don't you think the defensive team gets the advantage then?
No, not really.
Because when they're level, more or less it goes to the defensive team. Would you not agree?
If you're offside, you're offside, bro.
But then I'm saying they're level. They're basically level. Would you say the Mane one's offside?
Who are we talking about? The Mane one. I can't remember the Mane. Hands up. I can't remember the Mane.
Even the Salah one.
What about the Bamford against Palace? Bamford against Palace.
I can't remember.
I think that was level.
I can't remember all of these ones you mentioned, but the Ollie Watkins ones this weekend, I think that was a mistake.
And then yesterday, the Watkins one, he fouls. Mings throws him, so his arms are like outstretched, and then that's the offside.
Wait, you mean Ogbonna? Ogbonna throws him.
Oh, I don't know who was it. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, Ogbonna. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying his own teammate, but yeah, Ogbonna throws him, and he's offside like that.
He's offside, bro. Like, you can't argue with it. Like, he's actually offside.
But he threw him into that position.
He didn't throw it. They were like, if you watch it closely, they were holding each other. Obviously, Watkins is trying to gain his balance, and that's what pulls him offside. He's offside because he can score with his shoulder or his armpit, whatever you want to say, bro. He can score with it. That's what I think. Offside is offside. You can't argue the offside. I swear down. The goals, the penalties in that, yes, it's suspect. It's red cards, everything's suspect. But the offsides, I can't argue the offsides, to be fair.
I mean, I've read something regarding how they want to change it or alter it in the Eredivisie. So for the fans that don't know, the Netherlands League, they've got their lines are 5 centimeters thick, so it's more fair. That's how they want to do it, and obviously the Premier League want to adopt that So I don't know. That could cause a little bit of speculation or controversy.
They,
But sorry, Joe.
they need to change where it's interpreted to be offside. It needs to be like, because at the moment I think it's a shirt or something, like it's a shirt sleeve. But like I think at the like it should be the actual like maybe the top of the shoulder or something like that, or like there actually needs to be like clear daylight between the player and the defender maybe, or something like that. There needs to be a better interpretation of when it is offside or not. But I think I do kind of agree with Ben. The 5 centimetre thick lines, that's quite a good thing actually if you think about it. But I do agree with Ben when you say like offside is offside at the end of the day. But there needs to be a like interpretation of when it is actually offside. When is that classed? Like, is that the head, or is it the shoulder, or is it clear daylight, or is it like that needs to be interpreted? That needs to be changed in the laws. I think that does.
Yeah.
Point. So moving on.
Hey, bro. Let me talk about my team, bro. Man, just,
Yeah.
let me talk about. Man just asked me about the offside.
Let the boy talk, man.
Yeah. So in terms of just,
go on, mate.
I can't even hear you. So what do you say, sir?
I said, how do you think the whole game went altogether?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, like just in terms of I think we start first of all the lineup. Hey, that lineup looked very, very weak. Like when I was looking, I was thinking, yo, like obviously we had Nico Williams right back, who's very young. Obviously, he's not easy to come in and try and replace Trent, probably the best right back like in the Premier League. So very, very hard to come in and replace him. But yeah, he's trying, but I don't know. I don't think he's ready, to be honest. Like, it's hard, like, to ask a younger to come in Premier League Champions and start right back, like, proper hard. So, but yeah, and then also we got like, what's his name? I forgot his name now. The centre backs who was with Matip. Nat Phillips. Yeah, we got Nat Phillips. He's playing centre back with was it Fabinho or Matip that started? I think it was Fabinho. Yeah, Fabinho that started with him, and then Robertson. Like, but yeah, it's just looking like a very makeshift team. And then we got Minamino coming in as well, trying to play centre mid, and then Mane got rested, and then the usual whatever front three. So I just feel like in terms of our team, like I think Brighton probably played better first half from what I gathered, and when I rewatched it back, Brighton probably outplayed us first half. They probably should have took their chances with Connolly. Probably should have scored. Yeah, and they had the best of the chances. And then obviously we got James Milner got injured as well as a result of getting the schedule and stuff like that. But I don't really want to touch on the clock, whatever schedule thing like I think that's a more of a thing of like the Premier League and BT Sport and everyone just having to look at that themselves and the bigger teams. But yeah, so like, so we have Curtis Jones having to come on play right back, and then Henderson's come on, and I feel like we got much better when Henderson come on. So as you are like a top class player, when Henderson comes on, the game changes and we start controlling the game. Jota just on fire, man. Like everything touches just turns into gold. Like that boy can do no wrong. I feel like when you're playing a team that creates chances like that, he's just eating. So at Wolves, as he has to do a lot of defensive work, like probably start like higher up. He's starting now higher up the pitches, so he's getting more chances on the end of stuff a lot more. Whereas Wolves just do a lot of the dog work, and he's just on fire. But yeah, just in terms of the team, like I think 1-1, it's not a great result. I'm not really happy with it, but at the same time, it's not a bad result. I think the main thing we have to do is basically just stay afloat with the people at the top of the table until our foot players come back. If that makes sense. So that means our players who are not like squad depth and who are our squad, they need to step up. So your Minaminos, your Curtis Jones has, to be fair, your Nico Williams, they need to really step up and try and bridge the gap until you got the likes of Trent, Henderson, Thiago, even like all them men start coming back, KR to the team, and then we'll be alright. But like, yeah, we just need to stay, just stay 1, 2, 3, like in those positions until at least January. If we stay until January, I'm confident Premier League's ours, but yeah, we just got to stay afloat, basically, stay alive, and not lose too many games between them. But yeah.
No, so you want to touch anything on Liverpool?
No, I think obviously Peter touched on most of the things that I was going to say. I think the squad players just need to turn up when they get an opportunity. Obviously, they'll get more opportunities, but the big boys aren't there. The likes of Thiago, Van Dijk, even Gomez per se. You know what I'm saying? Like the regulars. So like, I don't know. Like they just have to, especially in the big games, they just have to really fight for Liverpool, because Liverpool they're the champions and they've been contended for the title for the past 2-3 years, and obviously they just need to hold that.
Yeah.
But the likes of
I think a
players
good
like
thing is that we played most of our big games as well.
But let me touch the likes of Origi, Nico Williams, Shaqiri. Those are the ones that are questionable because they've been given an opportunity on multiple occasions, but they're just like sometimes. When I watch it, that's when I watch it. But,
No, I agree with you. I agree with you still.
Let's move on to the more shocking result of the 5-0 to Manchester City against Burnley. And you know, my guy John Stones said, "Where you coming for?"
Wait, I thought you were going to go to
my guy
Arsenal.
John Stones steps in and puts in an offensive class performance. Like, what you lot on about, man? Stop messing around. But yeah, Morris steps up with a hat trick. Phil Foden comes off the bench, gets an assist. Listen, Man City, what we say? Back in the race. That's what I'm thinking. Anyone else want to dispute this? Ooh,
To
no,
be honest, you know that they beat Burnley 3 times in a row, 5-0. So I feel like if they wasn't, 3 times in a row at home, 5-0, 3 times. So if they didn't win that game, at least by a minimum of 2-3 goals, then it would have been a wrap this year. So, but yeah, I think it just shows they're still in the running.
Move on to the next game. Arsenal versus Wolves.
You can't ignore
I don't want to lose my
hat trick.
I said it. I said the Mahrez hat trick. What's this guy on about? What's the Mahrez hat trick?
I can't keep up with the internet, but let's move.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, man. Arsenal versus Wolves. 2-1. It ended full time. I don't know if anyone else watched the game, but
yeah, we all watched it.
I'm drained.
We all watched
man.
it.
And I've come here. I've defended him every single week. You know, it's going over my head now. The Spanish little accent now. It's pissing me off now. I'll say that now. And then you just sit there. He's changed formation, which I like, but you know he's put Willock in there. He's a hard worker, but he's not going to create stuff for you, is he? We've gone 1-0 down because people don't want to go in people's faces. They want to back off until they touch the goalkeeper's blooming goal. You know, it's just shocking everything that's happening. The defending is bad. There's no attack. And there's this Brazilian guy who's a fraud. He's come from Chelsea and he's absolutely whack in my eyes. That boy cannot play football, I say that now. And it's just shocking from everyone. I'm the boy up front. You know, I've defended him. He can't, I don't know if he could actually play up front no more. I swear, no, stop laughing though, so I'm being serious here, but I don't think he can play up front because he can't link play. Even when he was playing up front, he was still drifting out wide. It's like, bro, if you want to go up front, like, stay up. That's frustrating. Anyone else want to take the lead because it's going to get me angry just talking about them.
Wolves played well. I'm being serious. Wolves actually played well. I thought Wolves, I'll be honest, I thought Wolves dominated the whole game until like the 80th minute, 75th minute. But that's what Arsenal are a mid-table team now. You just have to get used to it. The sooner you get used to it, move on.
Don't do that.
I agree with Joe. You know what? I agree with Joe. Like,
Podence and Traore were having field days. They were actually was. Man like Neto as well. What a goal. The Pedance one, disgusting. How can you dink Gabriel like that and then bag it top bins? That is disgusting. Is it? Arsenal, I don't
really bang it top bins.
Actually played badly though, like badly. Like they didn't play like terrible. They played okay, like but
lacking confidence.
Yeah. That's it. Just lacking in confidence, I think.
Well, like I said, there's no positives I can really say from the whole game. You know, it used to be like, oh, we're not conceding. Still conceding. It used to be like, oh, at least, you know, we're staying defensively strong. I can't. And let me tell you something. Connor Cody, he played first time in the back four, boy. That boy looks like a duck in water because everyone was calling him about he can't play, he can only play in the free. But he's my top 5, like I said. And no one wants to talk about it. That boy is something else. I'm just saying that now. Yeah, you're looking at me like I said something crazy. You got something to say, mate?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to analyse Arsenal, mate.
Ex-Liverpool graduate.
Give me some more. What's going wrong? What's Arteta? I thought Arteta was the graduate of Pep. Obviously came from Pep. He's going to install this massive philosophy. You know, you guys said that you scored the same goal twice with Aubameyang. You know, look at the positions. Tierney's in the same position as Maitland-Niles in that position. Blah blah. And yeah, what's going wrong? Because you know, I thought, you know, wait. I said Emery. So Emery, he left when you guys were 8th.
Emery, why are you talking about Emery though?
Yeah, because that's where he came from, innit? So I want to see the improvement. So exactly a year ago, he left when you guys were 8th, and then now you guys are what, 14th? Exactly a year ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think's improved since then? It's a big problem. You're 8th and you got to 14th. What is the problem? You tell me what the problem is.
Can I add my 2 pence or?
Go on.
No, you asked me a question there, though.
Go on, sorry.
I just want to say, what's improved? Nothing's improved. Let's be real now. Come on, let's be real. Nothing's improved. It's I hate saying it every week, but it's still a work in progress in my eyes. It's confusing at the same time though, because yeah, you get the United win, then you lose 3 in a row, I think, or is it 2? One of the 2. And now we've got Tottenham next week. I don't think we're going to watch the game. I'm going to be honest. I don't think we're going to watch the game. I can't watch the game. But go on, Nosa. Go on, mate. Go ahead.
I personally feel like with Arteta, he's still showing favouritism towards some players, like the likes of Bellerin. I think Bellerin has had shocking performances in the past couple of weeks, and yet he's still playing. Maitland-Niles, who still gets called up for England, is still on the bench when he plays. He plays well. Then the likes of, let's say, Willock, just because he has one or two good games in Europa, he's playing him. Is he the best man for the job? Then Willian, just because he came from Chelsea, he's playing him on the wing or false 9 or whatever he's doing, he's still getting played time after time. He needs to look at really what he wants from the team. Like, does he want bad performances from individuals? Or like Saliba, he came in the summer, he's not playing him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And his partner from Leicester, he's getting game time after game time. Europa League, Premier League, you know, both 90 minutes, and he's younger than him by 1 year. We need to look at this because there's a bigger theme of like, okay, you're just getting unlucky results. But this is just inexperience, in my opinion, from the manager. Yeah. Like, just because Willian is Willian, don't mean you have to play him every week. Just because Bellerin has been the face of the Arsenal's right back for the past X amount of years, don't mean you have to play him every week. Yeah. He's had stinkers ever since, like, the Aston Villa game, like, poor performances, and yet you're still playing him. What statement are you setting as a manager?
Yeah, I agree with Nosa. I think Nosa's made some excellent points there. Like, in terms of, you have to look, like, we can't just say because Arteta, you can't ask questions of him, because he's like, bro, questions have to be asked of everyone. Like, even the way he's handled the situations, or his man management looks to be not very good, if I'm honest, because the way he's handled the Saliba situation, his man management, I said, he's not looking to be.
What situation?
So, the Saliba situation, he's got a player, and he's left him out of his team for like 5-6 months, and he come out and said, "Oh, it's a shame that I can't call up on him. You're the one that left him out, G. What the hell?" But yeah, and then Ozil as well. Ozil, he's left him out. Like, from nowhere, just put him in the freezer, put him in the cold. Like, so I think your first 10, 11, 12 games, Ozil started all of them. He said, oh yeah, I used to play with Ozil. I know what Ozil's like, blah, blah, blah. Remember when you were saying that? He said, oh, I know what Ozil's like. So from lockdown, boom. Never to be seen again. After lockdown, like, where's that come from? Like, this is not good management, man. And then like, he said it's for footballing reasons. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Let's be real.
Like, that's
not
good football. Like, that's not good man management. And then even you look at the Pepe situation. So I feel like with Pepe, when he got sent off, that was bad. But he comes out and says, "Oh, that's unacceptable." Like, he says it like 2 or 3 times as well, and I just think that's a bit harsh. Like, to come out and say straight.
What's he meant to say with that one? What's he meant to say?
No, but so I know. So the actual quotes was, "How do you think Arsenal's game went or whatever?" He says, "Oh, yeah, we were playing well the first half, and then second half Pepe got sent off. That's unacceptable." So he kind of like drew him out of nowhere, just drew him out, and I was thinking, huh? And he said it like 2 or 3 times, or 2 or 3, 4 times. Like, he just said it out of nowhere to say, "Oh yeah." So basically, he sort of said that they drew the game because Pepe got sent off. When it's like, well, Leeds will kind of pop you firstly in the first half. They were playing better than you. And then the reason why I bring this up as well, because the press conference on a Monday, he comes out and says, Pepe's still part of my plans. Like, I still like him. He's a very good player, sort of thing. So it's like, he kind of felt bad, like, in a way, because he's now sort of changed his tune and started, like... So I get, like, 3 isolated situations where I just don't think his man management has been very good there at all. The Saliba situation, Ozil situation, and the Pepe situation.
Inexperience showing, in my opinion. Just the inexperience showing.
I just feel like you don't see, like, a Klopp like that getting drawn into games like that, which is fair enough. He's only first year management, but I don't know what you guys think on that.
Obviously, there's another incident that happened after the Man United game. Young Edison Cavani has come out and he said similar phrases which Suarez said a couple years ago, but almost half a decade ago. And what do we think about the whole situation? I'll go to Joe on that because you are a United fan. What do you actually think? What do you think has to happen altogether?
I feel like he needs to get I think, did Suarez get a ban of like 2 games or like 3 games?
9.
Feels 10.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah. No, but that wasn't that to Evra, was that?
Yeah, during the game. Was to Evra during the game, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like he obviously it's I feel like it's like he needs more education, like obviously, but I do feel like Cavani he should get like a couple of like 3 game ban. I think they said. Obviously, it's like obviously he's come to a different culture and he doesn't quite understand the culture. That's not acceptable in this culture. That's not acceptable to say something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like a 2 game ban, 3 game ban, maybe, and some education as well. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said it today in his press conference that people from South American countries or just other different cultures, just in general, need to have more education on this subject because obviously that's not acceptable in this culture. So yeah.
Definitely. So what do you think? We were talking about it earlier, but what do you actually think altogether about the whole thing?
Initially, I was a bit confused because if you know about South American culture or Latin American culture, I'm assuming all of us do have a little knowledge on that. You don't understand what that means, but obviously, I think Peter in midweek he said a couple of points that really, I would say, opened my eyes a bit. He said, in any context, it shouldn't be said. And obviously, you mentioned that if they allow it to continue, it's going to continue with a chain reaction. It's going to become more acceptable to the norm. People that aren't public figures or people are just from other ethnic backgrounds that come into the UK, they're going to start saying the term, and then before you know it, it's going to be harder to control. And then we're going to be like, oh, XYZ said it, and so said it. So if you stop the initial thing that happened, there won't be a chain reaction. And obviously, Cavani obviously didn't say no malice, but aftercare and education should be put onto him after he gets his ban or any consequence that he gets or whatever you call it. So I do think Cavani never intended to hurt someone or be rude to anyone or insult anyone, but it's just a thing of no one else susceptible in our culture, because at the end of the day, UK is quite a multicultural country, and we just need to educate the players that come here from South America, Africa, or wherever it may be. So yeah, that's just my viewpoint on him. I think he should get free game ban as well.
And Peter, what do you think altogether, mate?
Yeah, I agree with Nosa, 100%. Education, and more education. It's all about education, really. And it's not what's acceptable, it's not acceptable. Yeah.
I was watching Gary Neville earlier this week, and he was saying that, and instead of waiting until it actually happens, I think when they actually come into the UK or England, should I say, and actually sign for a club, they should actually do a little bit of I was gonna say reading, but actually take a course or something, like to actually say like this is the right thing and this is the right way to actually do stuff. And I think that's a good plan, but it's actually up to the FA if they're actually gonna follow through with it. I do think a ban is needed because obviously it's not acceptable. I'm not gonna say how long because I wouldn't know the numbers, but yeah, man. Obviously, don't want to we're taking the knee. Everyone's taking the knee for a reason, and I wouldn't say he meant it in a malicious way, but it needs to stop right now, innit, I guess. And yeah, man. As always, lovely episode, guys. Thanks for coming in. Follow us on every social media platform, Street Pundits, and we're out for another episode. Lovely.